Welcome to youtube.com/Tungsten Tales, and joining me today I have Matt Porter, CEO of the PDC and CEO of Leyton Orient Football Club. Matt, great to have you here.
Thanks for having me.
Matt, we've already had a few of the matches so far. How do you think the tournament's going to this point?
It's warming up nicely. Perhaps not the weather, but the darts. It's the atmosphere in there is great. People are getting here for their weekend, looking forward to some top-class darts action. We've had some great games already, plenty more still to come.
We've already talked to Mike from Butlins about the relationship. From your point, how great is it to be here in the Butlins environment, getting all those fans in there, etc.?
This is perfect for us. I mean, darts has always had a strong tradition with holiday camp events, and in the same way that the PDC's taken darts a long way, Butlins has taken holiday camps a long way. You know, and what we've been able to deliver together is pure entertainment for the darting public, and it really is a fantastic marriage made in heaven.
This is seen as the sort of the warm-up event. It's a big event in itself, a warm-up event for the World Championships. That's obviously at the Ali Pali. I mean, going from one big event to another, it must be busy times for you guys in the PDC.
Yeah, I mean, this is the culmination of a year's hard work from all the dart players. Really, they've played 50-odd tournaments throughout the last 11 months and across the world, and they're all building up to the real big one at Alexandra Palace. But as you say, that doesn't take anything away from this weekend, where there's still £250,000 prize money up for grabs. So, you know, I can assure you, all 32 of the players who came here this weekend want to win. And obviously they do all have an eye on the World Championship, in the same way that every player in every sport has their own eye on being a world champion.
You obviously work closely with Matchroom Sport. Matchroom have done so much to get darts out there, but also they work in boxing. Two big sports that are growing there. And why do you think the fans are going mad for darts at the moment, going mad for boxing at the moment?
People want to be entertained when they go out, and they want to see a result. That's an important thing. I mean, we've learnt that in snooker, another one of the Matchroom properties. You know, people are after a lively show that is entertaining. They want to be able to engage with the participants, the players. So players need to give them something back as well. The way that TV package the sport makes it fun and entertaining. There's the lights, the music, the girls. You know, it's a great atmosphere in there. And the beauty of the games as well is that they're over in half an hour. So even if it's a really bad match, you haven't got to wait long for a result. And if it's a great game, then people sit there captivated. It's just a winning combination.
We did an interview with you yesterday, and you said, you were asked about who are your favourite darts players, and you said the ones that give you the least hassle. Could you talk to us a little bit about the disciplinary procedure for the darts? There's a new procedure in place, I understand.
Yeah,
Could you just talk through that for the fans?
The PDC isn't the governing body. The governing body is the Darts Regulation Authority. So they're an independent organisation who handle all our rules, all our discipline, all of those procedures. So if a player transgresses the rules, then they're reported to the DRA, who have a committee headed by a guy called Nigel Mauer, who's a previous chief superintendent for the Metropolitan Police, and they have a disciplinary committee who will determine the punishment, if there is one, for the players, and that also fits in line with our drug testing procedures. We've had drug testing in place since 2005, which was actually before golf had drug testing. So we've always tried to maintain our position as a clean sport, a sport with lots of integrity in it, because ultimately people won't come if they think there's any sort of issue with the sport being legitimate. You know, a lot of sports have been blighted by that in recent years, and it's important for us that we keep darts clean.
Outside of the UK, what other territories in the world are big for darts, especially from a broadcast perspective?
Well, this year we started our World Series, so we had events in Dubai and Australia. We have live TV in Australia, in Germany, in the Netherlands. They're traditionally big dart playing territories, lots of perhaps a similar culture to the UK, so people enjoy going out, social environment, having a drink, playing a game of darts. And now we're taking that on to the professional level, so turning it from a participation sport to an audience sport as well, where players will want to go and watch elite players as well as participate at an amateur level themselves.
Let's talk a little bit about how you got involved in the PDC, how you got involved working with Barry Hearn, etc., and with your role at Leyton Orient, because you seem quite a young guy. You've obviously done quite a lot.
There's a few grey hairs that tell you otherwise, but I was a journalist. I covered Leyton Orient for various different publications and radio stations up till 2001, and then I started working there full time as their press officer. Started working on the darts in 2004, was lucky enough to become chief exec of Leyton Orient in 2006, and then took on the same role in the PDC in 2008.
Well, so it must be great working in two sports that you love and you know so much about, right?
It's fantastic, yeah. I mean, obviously, when you say you know so much about them, that's the learning curve that working in them gives you. But it's a very enjoyable job. I wouldn't swap it for anything.
And talk a little bit about Orient. They've had an okay season so far.
Well, listen, we've got 42 points by the end of November. I mean, you couldn't have bought that if you'd have asked for it at the start of the season. You know, it's been a fantastic 4 months for us. Full credit to Russell Slade and the squad. It's only a very small squad. We only have 14 senior players. a few low knees and a few kids to make up the numbers as well. So there's really not that many of them in terms of the squad size, but they've got a tremendous will to win, a tremendous togetherness and spirit. And of course, when you're winning as well, things go for you. Players don't get injured so much, and you get a little bit of the rub of the green. And we've been very fortunate with that so far this season. Long may it continue, and if we can double our points tally, then we'll hopefully be in the Championship next year.
And a little word for the club as well. A lot of people maybe don't know this, but as a club, they do so much in the community, and they were sort of pioneering in the community schemes they ran for young people.
Yeah.
And that's still going strong.
It is, yeah. We're a big community club. You know, our roots are in East London, and we try and do as much for the East London people as we can, as well as those in other outlying local areas. Our community sports programme, our award-winning community sports programme, celebrates its 25th anniversary next year, which is a big thing for us. One of the longest-running schemes and most successful schemes in the country, and most wide-reaching as well. So it's something we're very proud of, something we work very closely with as a football club. We do multi-sports, we do a lot of outreach programmes for people who are maybe on the fringes of society, and just try and get people to engage as much in a positive way as we can.
Just a final word on Phil Taylor. He's a legend in this sport. Do you think sometimes he's overlooked? Like, we've got the sports personality coming up soon. Do you think it's unfair on him sometimes? He does so much in this sport.
Yeah,
he doesn't get the credit.
Phil was runner-up in the Sports Personality of the Year a few years ago, and he has been nominated. It's difficult. There's a lot of top sports people out there, and a lot of sports, vying for competition in that field. But I think people who know who Phil Taylor is, and that's most people now, let's face it, they recognise what he's done. I mean, he's driven this game on. All the other players aspire to be as good as Phil Taylor, and that's as big an accolade as you could ever give him. You could give him a cabinet full of trophies, but just purely to say everybody else in the world who plays darts wants to be as good as you is probably the biggest thing you could say for him.
Fantastic, Matt. So thanks so much for joining us. Don't forget to subscribe to our channel, youtube.com/Tungsten Tales.